Okay, okay. Hello guys, I'm going to be doing like a one-take tutorial for pretty much everything DNet related. Yeah, this might take a while, but it's okay. I think I'll cut this out, it's fine. Okay, so to get started, you're going to need to download a client for Teeworlds, which is pretty much a different name for DNet. Well, not really, but it's okay. I'll get into that later. So you go to your browser or Steam. I usually use the browser because I use a client. There are a lot of different clients. The client I use personally is Tater Client. You can just search for Tater Client. Just go to this website and just download it because it's pretty cool. Like, you download this, you unzip it, then you go through and search for the ddnet.exe and you execute it. And then once you have ddnet.exe running up, you can just kinda pin it to your taskbar to not lose it. So I just need to unzip it. Okay, so we do extract, you know, this kinda way it works. So then you have it here, you search through it, you find the ddnet.exe, you open it, you run anyway because yeah, it just doesn't have a license. And when it's running, you just pin to taskbar. Yeah. And then you can just open it anytime. So then you have your DDNet client. And there are multiple tabs. I think I'll make a separate video for the editor because the resources available are all only in text format. So yeah, you can run your own server, but I think I'll also make a different video for that. And you also have demos, which are like pretty much when you go into a map, you can start a demo and then it'll record your keystrokes and you can play it kind of back, you know, a little bit like, yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much how to get the client itself. For settings, before we even get started with anything, these are the settings. You have like a language tab to adjust the languages. Who would have thought? In the general tab, the only thing I'd really do anything with is the refresh rate and automatically record max demos, just whatever you want. And then you have like the player, and here you can adjust your in-game name and your clan, your flag, and for your dummy is pretty much just a second player that you can like switch between your main player and your dummy. And you can adjust your flags, and there are a bunch of like client-sided flags also, but they haven't been added yet in next update. And then you have the T tab. Here you can adjust how your character looks. The default looks like this. Where is it? This is the default skin. You can enable custom colors. You can adjust the colors of your skin, like also the feet, you know. I'd enable download skins and download community skins and leave these two things off pretty much. And you can also like shuffle, create a random skin. But yeah, that's pretty much the skin tab. It really isn't that deep. Or the T tab. And the way you add your own T's is you open this and you just put it in here, the file, and then it'll show up. Yeah. That's pretty much it for this. And if you click this, it'll just open the skin database, from where it also like downloads the skins and stuff. If you want to upload your own skin that it gets put into the database so people can download it, you need to go to the Teeworlds Discord and just read through the menus. Yeah, we have to do it their own, I think. This is a tab that I have played a lot around with, but not a lot of people have. You can adjust your HUD, you can adjust your DDrace HUD, those are two different things. And you can adjust the freeze bar opacity under HUD. In chat, you can adjust the chat. Who would have thought? You can adjust the nameplate. I have pretty much everything off, except for hook strength, because that's actually really useful sometimes. And like hook collisions, this is kinda irrelevant, but like I use it, so you can also customize it if you really want. Just read through everything and you'll be able to understand. Info messages, it's just info messages. I don't know. And for laser, it's like you can just adjust the color of all lasers. Whoa, who would have thought? This tab, you shouldn't really do that much. You should just kinda use the console to bind things, because it's more useful than this. But because of Tater, there are a few things that you should bind probably. These are like most things. Just look through everything and find out what works for you. You can copy my settings if you want, but if you copy my settings, just download my settings and import them, don't manually copy them. That'd be a waste of time. In graphics, it's honestly all down to what your PC can handle and what it does. Technically you should use Vulkan, but my PC doesn't work with Vulkan, so I use OpenGL 3.3, which is the best version of OpenGL. And just find which one of these works for you. I should probably use Windows borderless. Turn off VSync, have FSA timers on 0, turn on a high detail. You can show FPS, it'll just show a number up here. Also, you can uncap the refresh rate if you really want. You can also adjust the UI color. It's pretty cool. For sound, just play around and do what you want. Enable long paint sound, I always have off though, pretty much. And for this tab, have anti-ping on. I play with the default zoom. Oh, they added this, this is new. Don't play around with this, you'll fuck up, just leave it as it is. Here, have show quads on, have show others on team only, and have size and opacity on 100. And if you want, you can turn this off, but I just leave it on, honestly. Don't play around with this, this is kind of useless. You can just copy my settings for that if you really want, but just kind of do whatever you want, you know. Here, you'd need to like know the commands to what and like what works, but like this is kind of irrelevant, honestly. For assets, it's really simple. You just open this assets directory thing, and then you just put in your assets here that you want to use, that you can get from Discord servers and from this one site. I'll show it to you. Not skin database, but tdata.net. This is where I get everything from, pretty much, unless I edit my own things, which I also do. You can just look through these, find things that you like, and just use them, pretty much. And like, entities are pretty much the textures of the blocks. Games are game is pretty much the, like, how can I explain this? It's the game. Like, your gun is in here, you see there's a gun, your hook, your hammer, and you can just kind of edit them even yourself if you want. You can use something like Krita, this is what I use. You can use paint, I think. Yeah, emoticons are just emoticons. Yeah, particles are just the particles. Who would have thought? The HUD, I have this on custom HUD that you can use. It's in my Discord server if you want to use it, but the default is fine, honestly. And I only have double jump and like the freeze and unfreeze edited. Extras, I just leave them, but some people edit them themselves. Oh, okay, for the client, just figure it out yourself. Just if you want, you can copy my settings, but yeah, just figure it out for yourself, pretty much. Yeah, I use Montserrat regular. I also use this font, but for now I use this because it's easier to read probably and doesn't look as weird. Profiles, just play around also. It's really not that deep. Okay, so that was the settings and the demos. Okay, the client itself is really good, honestly. The way it works is when you click play, you enter the browser. Here there are a lot of things and it might seem overwhelming at first, but it's actually pretty simple. So over here you have the server list that the client basically pulls from a list of servers, and you can sort them for best ping, most players, and if you double click it, it'll search for best ping with the highest amount of players. There are a lot of different types of servers. The one I'll be focusing on is DDNet servers, and they host DDRace types of maps. And yeah, there are a lot of servers that are hosted in a lot of different regions, and to kind of sort for them, you can search for, say, Germany servers, or you can search for DDNet Germany servers if you want to play in DDNet Germany servers, you know. And you can also exclude, and you can also just enter the server address directly. If, per se, you join like a server that's like kind of not on the master list, you can just copy the server address and give it to your friend, and then he can just paste it in and he'll just join the server. Now over here we have this tab. This is kind of irrelevant, but like if you just click on it, it'll show only DDracenetwork servers. If you click on this, it'll show DDracenetwork and King Agors, and like you can click it and you can just click it again, and then like, yeah, you can like have a star on them to make them appear up here. Whoa, what a word. And yeah, the way that you join specific people, as far as I know, there are two main ways. Per se, there's a person who's called person. You type it in here and you add it, and then here at where like P would be, you could join them in the server, or you search here for person, and then if there is a person named person in any of these servers, person, you know, it searched for it and it found something, you could technically just join it. I know this guy, I could probably friend him. If you go into info, it'll basically show you the info of a server, pretty much. Whoa, who would have thought? And you see the player list and the times that they have on that server. And if you click on them, it'll add them as a friend, pretty much. Here you can also add certain types of filters to to the servers that appear, but honestly, just play around and see what works for you. That is pretty much the client. I think you should be able to like figure out everything. Also, there are genuinely a lot of servers, and by scrolling you can just join them all. Yeah, 1,200 servers. When I first started playing, I didn't know you could scroll down, and then I only played these servers, the linears and the multi-easy maps. Yeah. That's pretty much the client itself. If you wanna get started for playing Teeworlds itself, I just started out by doing the tutorial. Yeah, just do the tutorial first. Tutorial. It'll go pretty fast. Don't worry about this. Oh, that's fine. And like, oh, that's annoying. But it should still be recording. Yeah, my internet kind of gave out right there, so I'm going to have to restart it very quickly. Okay, we'll pause the recording. Wait, is it capturing right now? I'm not sure. Okay, I think we're back. So yeah, what I was talking about is, in the tutorial itself, it pretty much just tells you you can hold A and D and walk, and that you have a hook. It's not really that good of a tutorial, honestly, but it's okay. There is speedrunning in this game, so I have a pretty good time. Don't worry if you have a not so good time. Just try and do all parts. Try and figure everything out for yourself and kind of understand how it works pretty much. There are things that like will help you progress better, like doing certain things early on will make you a better player. But you're just going to have to kind of ask around and see if what you're doing is the best way to do it. Sometimes there aren't multiple ways and there's just one way to do things, but usually there are multiple ways. As you can see, for me, this is quite easy because I have 1500 hours in this game. My little brother, it took him an hour to beat the tutorial. So it isn't really that easy. As you can see, the maps are quite large. They look large, but they go fast usually because they have a very high movement speed of 15. Honestly, I don't know what it translates into tiles. Okay, some things about the game now. Like, you have your hook, you have A and D, you have your jumps, multiple because you have a double jump by default. And yeah, there are kind of tiles. As you can see, like this block, this is a tile, and it's a hookable tile, so you can hook it. That's why when you turn on any of these, it kind of just shows only the tiles themselves, so it doesn't show kind of the texture overlay over the tiles themselves. So that'll help you to be able to read things more clearly if you have entities that you like. I have very dark entities because my eyes are kind of sensitive, so that's pretty much like it, you know? And that's why I have dark entities. Whoa. Who would have thought? And like, if you're wondering how I'm switching between like non-entities and entities, I have a bind where when I press Alt on my keyboard, it just switches. I can actually show you. To open the console, by default it should be F1. And like, yeah, if you do like this, you can bind, like if you just do that, you can see the bind. I'm not going to put this in the description, I'm way too lazy, fuck that. Just try to do the tutorial. I'm trying to get to a part where I can kind of introduce something, but we need to wait first. And for these things, don't forget that you need to hook backwards. I forgot that then I was a new player, and then I always did them in the front, and then I was like wondered why I couldn't do them. It was like 1,300 hours ago. GG's, bro. I really am fucking old. Just do the tutorial, watch me play it real quick. You can like see how I do the parts and try to mimic it maybe if you are stuck on a part. But this is kind of the thing I wanted to introduce. The thing with this game is there's a lot of variance in how you can do parts. And with grenade, there are a lot of skips because there are a lot of things you can do with grenade because it just kind of gives you speed. Like per se, you can do a double nade. You can just do it normally. You can do like a double jump nade. Wait, I probably should explain what this is. There are multiple like weapons you have in this game, like your hammer and your gun. The gun doesn't really do anything, like unironically, at least in DDrace. And your hammer does do things, but I think we're going to get to gameplay tips in a little bit. Just do the tutorial. I'm kind of giving a walkthrough. I am trying to do it semi-fastly, so yeah. So in case you have any like questions about how to do a part, you can just look at how I do it. Or you can just skip it, that's fine too. Here, if you press shift by default, this thing will come up and you can do emoticons. As you may have seen, whenever I hook or when I hammer, an emoticon pops up. That's because I have a specific bind, and also when I double jump. This is not the way the emotes normally look. Normally they look like this. This is the way they normally look. So just keep in mind whenever you have like a skin on or something, or an asset, just think about what you're actually like putting, you know, like, cause if you use this shit, don't ask. You could be doing this, or you could be doing this. To you it looks the same, but to other people it doesn't, and like they could interpret it, so just keep that in mind. You should always try to be friendly in this game, because it's just a nice thing to do. Yeah. With P, I guess you have free view enabled, and with T you can chat. This kind of shows you like the binds and stuff. This is where your first part gets shown, but we're going to get to gameplay in a second. Just do the tutorial, learn about the weapons and what they do. The gun doesn't do anything, the hammer it like pushes and unfreezes people. Oh yeah, I should probably introduce you to the tile types. I'm fucking stupid, my bad. There are like, yeah, there are different types of tiles, you know. Like, unhookable is not hookable. Hookable, it is hookable. Hook throughable, you can stand on it, but you can hook through it. And freeze and unfreeze, they kinda just do what they say. Freeze freezes you for 3 seconds. Another useful thing to know is when you hook somebody, they get hooked for 1.25 seconds. My friend just joined. I'm recording. Yes, ignore my spelling. With the chat, there are a few tricks. I'm just going to tell them now. With the key arrows, with the arrow keys, I'm fucking stupid, my bad. With the arrow keys, you can kind of go back to messages that you said. Like, if you press up arrow, you go back one, you'll figure it out pretty much. With tab, it auto-completes whatever you're saying. It auto-completes names. So if you say you wanna mention mult, you do MO and you press tab, and it'll auto-complete it for you. If you wanna, like, cause if there are multiple people with M, if you press it twice, it'll go to the second person with, like, alphabetically, if that makes sense. I don't know. We can go on a big server and I'll show you what I mean. Because it's really useful what I'm about to say, because I didn't know this until, like, this one's full. Okay. Say, like, we want to mention a person that has A, or, like, okay, this guy, we want to mention him Fiek. So the way we do it is we do P, and then we let it autocomplete. Now you want to mention Sigma, so we do SIGMA. Whoa. But if you want to mention like a Russian person, since their names aren't in the English alphabet, they're kind of at the very end, and to do that you can press shift and tab and kind of go from the back, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much how you mention people and use the chats. Yeah, ignore that, it's fine. Just use T-client and then eventually you're gonna get good. So that's pretty much everything client related. And for the tutorial, so first you do the tutorial, you can use me as a walkthrough, you can Google your own, research on YouTube, there should be a lot, but try to do it on your own first. What I usually do is I go to DDNet and then I go all the way down and then I find an empty server and then I just join it. If I wanna do like something. Up here you also have like these tabs. Ghost is really irrelevant. Browser is just a browser, you don't need to go back to the main menu. In the players tab, you can do a few things. You can mute a person. You can mute their emotes, so you don't see their emotes, and you can friend a person. As you can see, I just made my dummy connect, and with my binds I can switch between my dummy, and like I can hook him, I can throw him, I can like also fly with him, but don't try this until you have like, I don't know, until you can, because if you just try to fly, you're going to be a very annoying person. Even if you cannot, like, with your dummy do like a moderate map, you shouldn't try to like do any fancy tricks. Just play, and eventually you're gonna get it down. So as a new player, after I've done the tutorial, I try to play like maps that aren't faily. But as a new player, you wouldn't really know the maps that like aren't faily. Who would have thought? You can go to call vote, and you can just search through this and look at everything. Under DD Max, you have also these types of maps, but yeah, just stick to novice maps as a new player until you have like until you can complete a 5-star novice map with your dummy like pretty in a pretty good manner. You should just stick to novice maps. As a beginner, try to just play maps, just try to complete maps. And yeah, as your first moderate, there are a lot of maps that you can try to have as your first moderate, but I try to have like, I don't know, is this map good? This map is short, but it isn't easy. Bro, honestly, I forgot how new people get better the fastest. I can think of a method real quick. Okay, the way as a new player you're going to get good at DD race is you're always going to play something that's a little bit too hard for you, but that's still very playable. What that means is you're going to join a server. As a new player, you won't know the map, so you just join a server. Cobra maps are good for new players because they aren't easy, but you're going to learn a lot of mechanics. So just join a Cobra server and just play. There are a lot of commands that you'll be able to use, but ignore that for now and just kind of play maps with other people and try to make friends and try to find a person who plays around as much as you, so you can get better together, because it's more fun if you have another person to play with. Try to avoid using your dummy, like, because if you use your dummy too much, you're going to become a dummy player. And while it is cool if you can do things like that, it's really unnecessary. Most, like, all maps are easier without dummy, and it's just more fun if you play with another person. So just try to avoid playing with dummy if you can. But if you have no one to play with and you still want to play, just use dummy. It'll not be the end of the world. My first map was linear. Whoa, it's a solo map, pretty much, because all parts are able to be done solo. Even though they might not look to be that way. In the beginning, I'd try to do this map with my dummy. You can do /team, and you can do like a number, and then you can join it. I have a lot of people I know, so a few people will join me. Just try to do the parts. You don't need to drag the person, you can just use your double jump. You don't need to do any insane hooks for now. Just do it somewhere like this, you know. Use your dummy copy bind that you hopefully have set. Ignore that, don't do what I did. Opa. You don't need to be able to do that. You just can try the parts. Just play this map. Try to do everything. Try to understand what you have to do. Like, go play it right now before you see it the way I do it. Like, the first few parts are fine if you see, but you shouldn't look at the entire map. So, like, just do the parts. Try to understand the ways to do them. Don't become a linear speedrunner. and then your life will be good. Trust me. Trust me. Don't become a speedrunner on a very niche map. That's like very contested though. Like, don't become an Ape Gores speedrunner. Don't become an X6 speedrunner. Just, your goal should be becoming brutal level. Being able to play brutals. And then after that, you can try and find teams to play with. And yeah. I mean, here, this part, the way you should do it is like this. You should try to do this as fast as possible. Learning throwing. I doubt that you're going to be able to do anything other than this. And pretty much how you throw is, you hook a person, and when they get hooked by you, they're going to have momentum, and you kind of add to the momentum with your hammer. You don't need to be super close to them to hammer. The hammer actually has a really large hitbox. It's like around here pretty much. Like a little, like, yeah. So you don't want to bump into them while you hammer, otherwise it won't go as far, like look, or it'll just go to the side. You want to kind of have them be like around here when you hammer. And the way you do it is by kind of moving also, like away from them. Because if I don't move and I just hook and do hammer, it'll just be that, but we don't want that. We want it to be like this, you know? We want to move away from him. And then eventually you're going to be able to do more throws and stuff. But just kind of play this map, do the parts, and then it'll be easy. I'll not spoil the rest of the parts. The next map you should do after linear, it'll be a big step up, but you should at least try it. It is a 5-star novice map, but it shouldn't even be too difficult. It might take you a very long time to beat this map, like 40 minutes for your first finish, but that's okay. Just play it easy. So I'm not going to give a walkthrough, but just kind of do this map and try to see how others do it and try to copy them. Usually there is a better way than how novice players do these parts, but just try to copy how people do it. If you genuinely don't know, just search up a video on YouTube. There should be, no, there are completions of this map. Ignore what the world records will, what the speedrunners do, because they use very efficient methods, but they usually aren't too easy. Yeah, just play the map, try not to fail. This is like teleport. This is numbered teleport. When you go into this, it'll teleport you to the number it has on it, you know? This is why to not disable text entities. But other than that, like just play this map, beat linear with your dummy, do the parts the normal way, try to play the multi-easy map, and then just try to complete novice maps with another person that you have found, and just I would have said goodbye to him, but he did not want to. That's fine. Just yeah, find people to play with in linear and multi-easy map, and just then afterwards complete novice maps together until you guys have completed a few novice maps and you're like pretty much able to beat novice maps. After you're like pretty much able to beat novice maps, you should try to go for moderates. It might seem like it's a big step up, but don't be scared to play things that are too hard for you, because that's the only way you're going to get better, is by playing like things that are currently too hard, you know? It's how you're supposed to learn things when you already know them, pretty much. So just don't be afraid to play things that you cannot play, but always keep this mindset of that if another person fails, it's okay, because you have also failed. And like, just don't be a mean person in Teeworlds, because it's a very accepting community. But yeah, just play honestly. If you don't know how to do a thing, search for it on YouTube. And then, or if there is no video on YouTube for it, search on Bilibili or Billy. Cause there are like maps. Cause the Chinese people are genuinely also really good at this game. Yeah, and just kinda, yeah. That's pretty much it for progression to become brutal. After you've become brutal level, try to play like hammerhead maps and try to be the carry on hammerhead maps. But don't play with dummy. Find a friend or a person who's also good and play with them. Yeah. But I have like all my settings and all my binds in my Discord server and all my assets and like my sounds and stuff. You can just download them. I can actually show you how to import sounds. Like assets I already showed you, just put them in the folder. Settings is a bit different, but it isn't that hard. You just this is the way I do it. There are probably other better ways, but just go here, you go back to this, and you just replace the settings DDnet config, pretty much. The way to import sounds, the way I do it, is I go to Task Manager actually, and I find my ddnet.exe there. I open file location, I go to data, then we just go to audio and you just replace these files with the files you want to have as your sounds. Yeah. For this type of novice map, all you really need to do is be able to hook. Be able to hook other players. There is a skip for this. It's pretty much this person is standing here, and when I jump, it's going to hammer me. Yeah. Well, no, I can't because I'm in a solo part, but if the other people are doing it, try to do it, but if they aren't doing it, you can just do it the normal way. But yeah, just try to copy what other people are doing if you don't know what to do. Who would have thought? And just play. That's pretty much my biggest tip. Just play the game. And don't be afraid to play things, you know. But don't become a dummy player. That's like, just don't become a dummy player, and then everything will be good, and then you'll be the GOAT if you just don't become a dummy player. Not because it's like hard, it really isn't. It is probably easier to become a dummy player than not, but if you find people you can play with, it's much more fun if you don't play with dummy. But if you are 3 people and you wanna play a map, it's usually better to be 4. So 1 then would usually take their dummy, but it's fine. Yeah. No, it's okay. That's pretty much it, actually, unless I'm really stupid. Just figure out the settings you like, figure out the assets you like. Just take your time, play the game, and you're going to get better. It'll just take, like, a lot of time. Okay, but DDrace isn't the only mode that people would be interested in. There are a lot of different other modes. If you search by, or if you filter by type, you'll see there's this 0xf, that's just kind of default. There is block. There are people who like block, but I see block just kinda as just like little gimmick. Honestly, it really isn't that deep. Don't play block, or at least don't play it for too long. There's deathmatch. Deathmatch is cool. Sadly, no one plays it anymore in this day and age, unless you play with me. Or actually, there are sometimes, but like that's very not. There are unique servers, and they host race. And race is like, it's like a solo map, but you just need to complete the map as fast as possible, and it is just kinda like rocket maps. I can probably show you what I mean. So like football, it's kind of self-explanatory if you just join in. And yeah, Gores. This is another big mode. The DD Race and Gores are the two biggest modes. I think this is playable somewhat. No? Oh, I know, it's fine. The most popular server for Gores is King of Gores servers, and they host a lot of different maps. The way Gores works is you have the map, and you have a start and you have a finish, and you want to get to the finish. Gores, for a new player, is harder than DD Race, so I recommend starting with DD Race until you're like at least a moderate player. Or until you can just, if you focus on Gores, I'm pretty sure you could eventually, like, you could get good enough to beat like an easy map with a few people in like 50 hours probably as a completely new player. But just don't play Gores as a completely new beginner, and just play DD Race until you're good enough to play Gores. But yeah, pretty much just play. Also play Gores if you like it. Yeah, this is the other big mode other than DD Race. Who would have thought? Because it is actually quite fun. There are tutorials to how to get better specifically in Gores, but it's pretty much just invest time, become good at moving your character however you want, because everyone has their own playstyle pretty much. Like, there are people who focus more on hooking, and there are people like me who focus more on A and D movement. Just figure out what works for you, just play. It's kind of just the biggest tip, honestly. Just play the game to get better at it. And yeah, just GG's. I'm a pretty good Gores player, as well as a pretty good DD Race player, as well as I'm also pretty good at this other mode. It is called Zcatch. It's sad he doesn't get played anymore. Pretty much, it's pretty much only me and like 2 other people that play it. It only gets pretty much played on this map, and it's pretty much a PvP mode where if you get hit by a grenade, you kind of get caught. That's why it's called Zcatch, and you can release people after you catch them with your kill button. And there are non-release and release matches, and yeah, just kind of use your grenade to boost and move around, but this is kind of irrelevant, honestly. Just fight people, kill them, release them if it's a release game, or don't release them if it's a no release game, and just try to kill all other people. The other big PvP mode other than Zcatch is FNG. I honestly don't know what it stands for still, but pretty much what it is oh, they probably won't let me know, will they? Pretty much what it is you have this laser weapon in DD Race itself. It unfreezes people, but in FNG it freezes them, and then you have to freeze them and put them in X spikes. GG's, bro. I prefer Zcatch over this mode because this is kind of just whoever can shoot the other person better. It is really just that. And as you can see, I can do this. It's because I have a bind. Look, I show you the bind on my mouse button. The fuck? Oh, I need to scroll it down. Nice. I have DynCam. Dynamic camera is a very, very old feature. You don't use this in DD Race, but basically what it does is whenever you move your mouse like this, it kinda makes your FOV go with it. A smooth, it's like, I don't know, it's just like, why use thin cam, honestly, except for FNG. It's pretty much you only use it for FNG. And yeah, this is the last game mode I promised. The last other big game mode that gets played is GCTF. And pretty much it's grenade, capture the flag. And the way it works is, it actually is just grenade, capture the flag. It's like Z-Catch in the way that everyone is insta-dead. And you go to the other person's side, you get the flag, and you bring it back to your own side. Whoa, capture the flag. There is a Discord server for it, it's called T-Zone. I'm not going to leak my Discord right now. Just Google for it and you're going to find it, or just ask me privately, like just join me. Or on my Discord server I might make like a collection of servers related to Teeworlds. Yeah. This is pretty much the other big game mode. I mean, there are a lot of different other game modes. Like this server specifically, it hosts a lot of different modes. Like look, game modes, capture the flag, deathmatch, team deathmatch. I don't even know what this is. I also don't know what this is. GCTF. ICTF is like laser capture the flag. It's just the laser insta kills. But yeah. Sometimes, very rarely, vanilla gets played. Vanilla, I'm not even sure if it's just, but yeah, vanilla is just CTF. I am stupid. I'm not downloading that right now. Pretty much it is, it's just capture the flag, but yeah, you have health and you have to pick up weapons, and each weapon does different things, and you just capture the flag. This is the mode that like this game came out with. Yeah, it's kind of this mode that is Teeworlds, but it no longer gets played, sadly. Most PvP modes don't get played. It's pretty much just DDracenetwork and King of Course. Yeah. So eventually, when you become good enough to be able to play Brutals, just search for highest players and best ping, and just join random Brutal maps and just play them and find people to play with and become somewhat known. And just search for teams you can play with and just play. That's pretty much the way you get better eventually. Yeah, that was a big team. You can join clans and then you might be able to join a big team, but like it's kinda irrelevant, honestly. For any questions you have, you can just ask me on my Discord server probably. But yeah, that's pretty much just it. Just do the tutorial, do linear, do multi-easy map, find people to play with on different servers that are novices, and just play novices with them until you get good enough to beat moderates, and play moderates with them to get good enough to beat brutals. And then when you start playing brutals, you can either stick with your duo or like just play team 0 and just fuck with everyone and just like play with everyone, you know? Or you genuinely stick to your duo and just like be isolated down here in this tab and just play with your duo, like these two people. But yeah, that's pretty much just it. Also, if you wanna get better, you can do solo maps. Just don't overdo it. Don't become like Clancy. Whatever you do, just don't become like Clancy. Yeah. Just go solo. You do random solo on map unfinished, and you just play, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the progression of getting better at this game. I think this is pretty much it for the video. It's already been going on for 50 minutes, bruh. GG's. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to edit this down to maybe 30 minutes, but it'll still be a very, very long video. So everyone, have a nice day. Thank you for watching my video. Love you guys. You're actually the goats. I hope you have fun in your Teeworlds journey. And in the end, getting better isn't your main goal. Your main goal is to have fun. So if you wanna become a linear speedrunner, do become a linear speedrunner. Don't let me deceive you. Just have fun in the game. Yeah, he used to be the person I played novices with, but then he's kind of stopped playing the game. But he still joins sometimes. Yeah. So guys, I think that's it for this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe and turn on the bell, and yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.